Hey guys, Levy Freeman here, and today we're back on Hearts of Iron 4, and this is a random countries mod setup just because I wanted to do, get some vanilla countries and a random countries mod. Everything is all generic. And what we're going to be doing is testing out the performance of certain tank templates for breaking AI infantry, and we're looking for how long you can push for how many tiles, and also how much damage you take for doing that. So on the side over here, we have Poland will be fielding the tanks, and Poland just happens to be in a similar spot. Random countries mod, you have countries all over the map. And we just use the console commands to get us some tech and equipment. So we have 1939 rifles, we have the first motorized tech for the hardness, we have 1939 engineers, and we have the medium tank and the medium tank SPG 1939 level. We're not using artillery, but we have the 1939 artillery, and we have, this is like testing the ratios. Like I didn't pick a doctrine, so this is a blank doctrine check. So your doctrines obviously are going to have an impact on whether or not or how you want to set up your templates depending on the org and stats you have. That definitely is going to make a difference. So we have that. We have a save file over here, and we'll go return to that after each template test. I think. We'll go over to Manchukuo. Manchukuo over here. So these guys over here, these guys are set up on, again, the 1939 level infantry equipment. And we go through that over here. They have this stuff, they have this stuff, and this artillery. No land doctrine again either, no generals or anything like that. So these guys over here, this seems like a template that the AI would probably have. Like I looked at the 1939 Blitzkrieg start on Germany and France in vanilla. And France has this without the engineers, and Germany has this with engineers. Like, this seems like something you could reasonably expect to encounter. Of course, if you're playing a mod, like I know in Kaiserreich, the AI will make anti-tank, and the AI will make line anti-tank division specifically to pierce tanks with a 3-line anti-tank. And NSEEK mod, everything has like support anti-tanks. I mean, like, armor bonus is pretty important, and you want to make sure you have it even at the cost of organization. Armor bonus is pretty good, and of course you take half attacks coming in. So if you drop down to 20 from 30 org, but you get the armor bonus again, obviously that would be worth it to do. But having more org and more HP will help you, in theory, it should help you push longer and also take less equipment losses of damage. So over here, when we start these up, we're just going to turn the AI off to make sure they don't move, and we're going to turn weather off. Weather, another random variable that we don't necessarily need. So we will do 3 attempts, and these guys in Manchukuo over here, they're on construction repair, and I've given them a bunch of civilian factories, and they'll be repairing their infrastructure. But there will be infrastructure damage, of course, each run. So if you, and that's you get that in a real game too if you're pushing a lot. We'll see if that makes a difference. But we're going to go 3 runs, move over, reset up. We'll see what all gets repaired, but we'll start back from the same file every time, and we're going to go for 3 runs, and we'll take a look at our combat log after, and we'll try and do it in a consistent manner. Waiting for everything to repair to do like fresh runs might be the easiest way to do it, but it'll also be pretty tedious. Like it does take a while to repair like large numbers of infrastructure damage. I think it might just have these guys. I think let's turn on instant construction, and we'll just maybe get these guys up to 10 infrastructure in all these territories, anyways. So go like that, and then we'll make this a save point here. Alright, so let's go over to Poland. So the templates we're trying out are the 12-8, which is going to be your 30 org template. Basically that's it, and this is the equipment you can have. You can see they're fully equipped, and they have the the equipment that we gave them from the console. Hardness 62%, and these are the stats. So you have 30 org, and what you see there is what you get. You have the 15.5 over here, this template. Again, the only sport company we're playing with is engineers. It seems like probably the default sport company most people are going to play with. So we go with that. And hardness of this unit, of course, 72%, so it's a bit higher. Org is only 22.3. Next up, we have the 10.4.4. So this is an SPG's template. Hardness 68% on this unit. We have 10 tanks, 4 SPGs, and 4 motorized only. So the org on this unit is pretty bad at a 18.9 org. And the 15.2.2 is, like, I saw this suggested as a better option. We'll test it out. Like, I don't expect these guys to perform better than the I don't know, than the 40 widths. But I mean, so 20 widths you will have, like, see, this is a 19 org template. This is like an 18 org, but you only have 2 of these and you have 4 of these. So, like, if the enemy splits their attacks up and all your stats are equal, maybe that will help you be able to push longer. Of course, you have more org on the tile pushing with the 20 width, and if your stats are good enough to hit over their defense anyways, and it might be, then maybe the stat concentration isn't significant. So we'll see. We'll test it and we'll see how that goes. So we've got that. That's what we're testing. So first up, we'll do 12-8. So what we're going to do is going to have them try to push around this track that you saw us have guys stationed in when we were on Manchukuo, and we'll see how far they get and how many losses they take. And then we'll pull them back and reset up and go again. So you can see here we are getting the armor bonus. It looks like we take this first tile pretty easily. Second tile looks like we might be having some problems with our organization to keep pushing here, though, even with the 30 org. Alright, so that's that. So move these guys over here. So we're just going to have these guys move back in and regain their entrenchment, and we'll tag back over to Poland and try again. Alright. So we'll go for maybe 3 runs each template. And infrastructure, yes, you see we did break a whole lot of infrastructure over there, so that might impact our second round results if we get out of supply penalties. It doesn't look like it, though. Alright, so once again, this first tile is easily broken, and the second tile looks like we're starting to get some problems with keeping on pushing. I'll move these guys back. So we move over here, and we'll let ourselves reorganize again. And now we have like complete infrastructure damage over here based off the length of those combats. And last run. See how we do, and if that infrastructure damage actually affects us. It might, going into that second tile. So once again, first tile broken easily. And we aren't taking any supply problems over here. Alright, so we've taken this next tile over here, and then we've bounced. Okay, so that was the 12-8s. You see over here, we'll take a screenshot of our combat log. And equipment losses was thus. Okay, so that was the 12-8. So 12-8s total. We got the second tile one time, and we bounced twice. And we have losses. Our losses were guns, 227. Motorized was 110. Tanks was 167. SPG was 0 because there was no SPGs in the template. And SEQ was 11. Okay. And we can look at enemy combat losses too. I wonder if that will tell us. Enemy combat losses. I have to tally that up, and I'm a bit too lazy today to do that. But I mean, if you have more soft attack and whatnot, you'd expect you'd be able to kill more enemies. But let's go back and load, and we'll try our next template. And when you're doing these tests, you have to make sure each time you load your save file, you turn off the AI and your weather. So go back to Poland over here. So next up, you have the 15-5 template, and we're just going to give them the same order, and we'll do the same thing again. We'll see what we get. So will the extra hardness and whatnot from the tanks give us better results? Not really, it looks like. Alright, so we bounced one time. Go back and reset. And wait for our entrenchment and everything to build up. So these guys, it looks like also infrastructure damaged. I think that was less than with our medium tank run though. So we set up again, we'll order the 15-5s in. So it looks like this amount of attack on this unit is still not really high enough to beat their defense. Alright, so again, that was, we took one tile. We'll reset. Move that over there, and we'll let our entrenchment build up, and then we'll go back again. The infrastructure is not completely broken, so it looks like we are getting less infrastructure damage with this the 15-5 template. I think perhaps because the combat is a little bit shorter. We'll send these guys in again now. I think the other guys are also entrenched. We'll go at number 3. Let's see how we do. Alright, so we took that tile over here, and then it looks like we were out. They did not continue. And of course, we're on 5 speed, so we're recovering very quickly. So we got 2 tiles one time, so we'll pull these guys back. And I think that was our 3rd try on these guys, wasn't it? Let's check the combat log. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pass, fail, pass, fail, pass, pass. And it's interesting that they didn't continue the attack. He must have ran out of org just as soon as he took the tile. That's fine. So that was the 15-5. This is the combat log here. And equipment. So 15-5, it looks like it had similar performance to the 12-8. Less org. Guns lost was 153, which would be less. Motorized loss 75, which would be less because it has less equipment. Tanks lost was 227 tanks. So we lost 167 on the 12-8. So that was in about the same amount of support equipment. No SPGs, obviously. So we did lose significantly more medium tanks in these attacks over here. Let's go back to start. We'll try out the SPG templates. Okay, so we do that. Alright, so we go in with our SPGs. So once again, it looks like our attacks on the 40 width are not enough to overcome the defense on this level. Alright, so we push here. Even if they target the same one, they will not be able to overcome the 400 defense, it looks like. So performance there is also bad. Or it's not bad, but it's same as the other templates, it looks like. So we'll drive back over here, and these guys do quite a bit of damage to that infrastructure as well. Tag back over here. Alright, so we're entrenched again. Go back and go for round 2 with the SPGs. It looks like we're probably going to wind up having that same result again. So we go back over here. And we'll go and entrench. And last round for the 40 widths. I think it's going to be going a little bit better this time. So you go over here. Oh, and we bounced. And we bounced. Alright, so that was the 10-4-4 template with the SPGs. The total losses here. Guns, 129. Motorized, 62. Medium tank, 157. 45 medium SPGs, and 9 support equipment. Okay, so that was that template. Let's go and try out the 20 widths. We're using tank test 1. And weather. Okay, there we go. So these guys, same orders. That's interesting. So it looks like these guys will take that second tile on round 1. And you would be able to cycle attack that next one in if you wanted to, too, actually, the one that dropped out and started recovering. So, not a bad result for the 20 widths, actually. That's a bit surprising. But, I mean, if you think about it, if the stacked attack doesn't let you actually exceed their defense or breakthrough or something like that, like you're not hitting that break point, maybe it probably is better to have the extra organization. We'll reset over here and wait for our entrenchment. The extra organization that comes with having the extra units, because that's average, not additive, of course, for organization. Okay, so let's go back to Poland. And we'll see if these guys can repeat that same successful attempt. I actually took the third tile that time too. Interesting, interesting. So it looks like the 20 widths templates are coming out the winner here in this this test here, which is very surprising. I would not have expected that, but you know, it is what it is. We'll go and see for round number 3. We need to check for our entrenchment. seem to have done less damage to the infrastructure too as well. Alright, there we go. I don't think they're going to make it this tile over there. Okay, so that was 522s over here. So in terms of like actually being able to push the farthest through those infantry stacks, the 522 was the clear winner, and the 15.5 was the second best. So losses over here for the 20 widths. So we have infantry equipment 262, which is the highest out of everything, which is, you know, you're attacking with the 20 widths. I mean, that's to be expected. 124 motorized. We lost 310 medium tanks. So for reference, the 12.8 lost 167 medium tanks, but of course they didn't push as far as the 12.8s did. And SPGs 89, and support equipment was 40. Although I suppose if you say, like, in terms of tiles taken, the you fought more combats, then your equipment losses are obviously going to be different, right? It's like it's not really necessarily a fair comparison because these guys were able to push farther. So combat, I guess we can take a look at some of these other logs over here. And we can, you know, I'll look at the log screen. We can compare them, kind of see what see what the losses are. But that was this test. I'll calculate some industrial costs over here. But it looks like for pushing AI infantry stacks, the 522 for them on a tile does seem to work better. And like I think the reason, looking at the combat bubble, the reason why that is that the 40 widths over here are just not having enough attack to combo over and push that to exceed the defense of the defending units, right? So if all the attacks are blocked and the 420 widths have the same number of attacks as the 140 width, but they also have double the organization because there's double the units, then it seems like that makes them like a real winner there. So that is an interesting outcome. It is an interesting outcome. I wonder if that applies at different tech tiers. If you have, of course, my experiences in game tend to be that the 40 widths perform better than the 20 widths with the light tank, but that might just be for the situations that you're encountering in the 40 width. Like I usually play with ahead of time tanks. The stats on those units comparatively are enough to get that concentration boost, and like that's why they perform better for me. But it looks like if you're comparing even tech tier against even tech tier, the 20 widths are able to push those infantry stacks better. So that's an interesting result, and I think that is like a decent practical test if you're going to be playing 1939, and those are the techs you're going with. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that video. Surprise outcome. Yeah, that's it is what it is, right? So if you're looking to beat up the AI, then this seems like a pretty good template to work with in terms of being able to push. I hope you enjoyed this video. Lev Freeman signing out.